The Podical sound.
Podcast, you can't win. Talking a good game, you can't win. Topics never lame, you can't win. Win.
Not your average Joseph. Marvelous.
It's ridiculously funny.
Hi, hello, I'm Marvelous.
No, I'm not your average Joseph. Fuck.
We are the Podical Sons.
Welcome to the greatest show on earth.
Yes, true indeed. Like, comment, subscribe, all of the above.
All of that.
YouTube, you see us there. Don't hesitate to hit the subscribe and the notification bell. All streaming platforms possible. PodicalSons.com. Everything.
Ding dong. Ring ding ding.
Is YouTube the only place with a bell? That's the only place with a bell.
Yeah, come to think of it.
Yeah. That's it.
Come to think of it, yeah. How's your week, man?
My week felt athletic.
Felt athletic?
It's just been going.
It's been
running.
It's been nonstop.
A lot of runnings. Like running up and down in my personal life. AI fake Trump running from the police. 6ix9ine getting beat up in the gym.
6ix9ine not being able to run.
Well, he was in the gym. The high school that banned the church, for the alleged transphobic.
Yeah.
It's been athletic. It's been an athletic week. It's been an athletic week.
Eventful. It's been eventful. Eventful. For sure.
How's yours?
I'm operating on the least amount of sleep that I've had in a while. So I'm glad that we're through we are through all the personal family stuff and back to regular scheduled program, man.
That's what's up.
And it's starting with today. Sun's on a Sunday, but you catch us on a Tuesday, providing you with all the info and jokes and thought-provoking topics. And we're about to do the same thing today.
That's what you be saying to people?
Yeah, I'll be telling them everything, man. When they ask me what the show's about, I say, it's a current event, pop culture, important topic showcase.
Yeah, that's against my shit. I just tell them it's the therapy you never thought you needed.
The therapy they thought they never needed?
Because, and I think I don't go out the way to make jokes.
Right.
I'm not a comedian.
Right.
But I think there's just certain things that you might say might be funny to people and stuff like this. Difference between a stand-up comic, improv comic.
Of course.
And I think like a lot of times it's kind of situational when it comes to like conversation.
Yeah.
Because the play on words you might have a monotone type of conversation and somebody might let out like a go and eat out kind of line. Mm-hmm. And then that kind of changes the tone of the conversation. Like, right. I feel like you don't have to cook everything. Sometimes you can eat out. Eat out who? Weird. And this is somebody else that eat out line might be like, where are they going with this?
The chuckle? Chuckle? Yeah.
Hodgepodge. Do you even say that word no more? Hodgepodge?
Hodgepodge. I haven't heard it in a while. I'll be completely honest with you.
Grandpa Marv is in the building,
that might
folks.
Have fell out of the lexicon. Do they still use lexicon?
That was a lexicon. I don't even know what a lexicon is. Is that a word?
A lexicon? Yeah. Lexicon is a collection, I guess, of words. Stuff out of the lexicon. I'm assuming. I hope I'm using lexicons. Well, I don't know. We'll have the school teachers tap in and let us know if we've been commanding the English language properly.
Lexicon. All right, man. Let's start with the polls.
All right.
First poll said, would you keep an old nude photo of your ex? And 67% said no. How are you on that?
Yeah, I'm going to say no as well.
You're gonna say no? Okay.
Yeah. And keep it how? Are we talking any type of format with like old school
old nude photo,
like the hard copy photo, like you got in like stashed in like a shoebox or some type of
possible. She could have sent
other miscellaneous places.
Could have sent it to you on phone and everything like that, or you guys could have made she could have took a photo,
right?
she could have taken an old nude photo and sent it to you, or
Right.
it could have been fresh at that time, but you kept it. And I want to say, like, after, because you're an iPhone person, after the countless changeover of phones, you'd be like, I got to click and drag this just in case this might get lost. Or you could have probably saved it on the hard drive somewhere.
Yeah.
And it could have been your back burner Betty.
See, and the reason why I ask is because I find that I've got more like hard copy photos of girlfriends of past
Okay.
than I do actual like digital photos.
I do too.
And the reason why is the digital photo, like, delete. I ain't really delete, you're gone. The hard copy is a little bit more effort.
Yeah, because they don't come by that easy anymore.
They don't come by that easy no more. And it's probably in some box that I gotta go look for, search through, find the picture.
Okay, so if you find it, would you destroy it?
If I find, and that's the thing too, I don't know, man. I had this sort of superstition where it doesn't allow me to completely destroy old photos because I feel like their soul somehow has been captured.
There's something connected to it. Yeah, I can't do that either.
So I can't just throw stuff out like
But
that.
Okay, for me, I don't know where I picked this one up from.
Right.
But I feel like when you get an old photo and let's say you don't fuck with that person no more.
Yeah.
You're supposed to rip it.
Really?
Yeah, like you're supposed to rip it.
Okay.
So like not cut it and everything. You're supposed to just like
supposed to tear it.
you're supposed to tear it, whatever. I don't know if it's a old wives' tale or something like that I've heard along the way, but you're supposed to rip the photo. And even if you rip it into small pieces, you just rip the photo.
Right,
but like if you just throw away the photo like just as is,
Yeah.
and if you're in it, I don't think there's good karma coming to you and stuff like as is. So I think the ripping signifies like your separation or your soul separating from the photo.
I had one girlfriend.
Yeah.
When we broke up, she called me for her pictures.
All her old photos?
All her old photos. And I was happy to oblige because like
Any nudes?
No nudes.
So
Couple sexy poses here and there. But I mean,
with clothes?
Yeah, with clothes on.
Okay.
But I mean, I was much obliged because now I don't have to feel guilty of ripping it up or tearing it apart.
Mm.
And she's got her old photos. I'm no longer in possession of it. So there you go.
Keep it a buck though. I remember I was in the 10th grade. Yeah, I was in the 10th grade. So I was in Cleveland. And I met an older chick. She was... So I want to say she's probably like at least out of high school at that time.
Okay.
And because she always wanted to try to connect and stuff before and everything, I told her that I was busy because I'm getting ready to go to the Army. So then after I told her that, Army or Air Force, I can't remember exactly. I lied to her and stuff, told her about one of the two.
One of the two.
And she sent me, like, she gave me some photos like, well, miss me when you're gone. And she's like, there's a little scent extra and stuff in there. And then I had, look. And first and foremost, like this is back in the day.
Yeah.
So you had to take this shit to get developed somewhere. So I'm like, definitely the person there.
Developing.
They developed and got a little stash to themselves.
He knew.
So I was looking at it, I was like, I mean,
ended up in the old school Playboy fan sections where they used to mail in the photos. Probably got a couple mail-ins from that photographer.
So me, I'm on the yes side because I would like, and I have like even her photo in any case. Right?
Yeah.
Now to the woman that, if you ever hear this, you can pay a fee for that. I'm different.
If it was given to me digital, your chances are I don't have it. I'll be
digital.
I'm completely honest with you.
Okay, so digital photos, I don't keep, right? Like I want to say, because again, like even like my DMs, I don't control who comes in my DM and own part. Because sometimes when I see some people like that we don't follow each other, when they send a message, it goes into another box and stuff on IG.
Yeah.
Like I guess like, is it hidden or?
So you have your main box and then
the primary and the general, and then it has like some other stuff like requests,
like hidden requests. Yeah.
So when I see those, if the message comes in kind of clean,
right,
then I'll just like hit and it say move to primary. Like so it's just with the regular list.
Yeah.
Right. But then I guess fan mail. Can I say fan mail?
I guess. Yeah.
I appreciate my fans. I
Appreciate.
just don't want no problems with my woman.
He appreciates that.
So when I get the photos, I had to send them off to. I send it to the delete pile.
And they target him specifically because they don't go through the Podical.
You seen it, right? You seen it because I'm like, why me? I was like, why not you?
They don't come to the Podical Son section, and they don't come to my DMs.
And they're not regular.
Let's be clear.
Yeah. Oh, you trying to clear your name? You're trying to clear your
Wifey,
name?
they don't come to my DMs. I will tell you that.
Look, boo, I apologize to my boo thing. I'm gonna apologize. It's not me.
Not you.
I see it. Look,
It's not you, man.
One part of the conversation comes in regular,
Yeah.
and then katow.
Yeah.
Like did I show you the last katow?
No, he didn't show me the last katow. He didn't show me the last katow.
I think I deleted the whole conversation, but it was just, hey, boo, I'm a fan, blah, blah, blah. Be like, yeah. I like when you guys talk about blah, blah, blah. Be like, yeah, that was great. That's great. All right, fuck it. And call it a day. Yeah, I deleted it.
Oh, wait. No, I'm lying. This was a few years back.
And this is another one. That's a kata, all right?
That's a katow.
I was like, I'm good.
I did get a katow pic,
Mhm.
and then I replied, yeah, I'm married. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure, like when I message and say, okay, because I don't know what they're coming in the DM for. Right. So, but if there anybody that I know, exes or old folk and all that, I hope you come in civil. Because I don't know where the conversation might go. Because we talk damn near about everything. There's no taboo.
Yeah.
Like, and I like it like that. I like that there's no limiter on the conversation. I've never been one to put limits on conversations.
Yeah.
So I'm mind, body, and sound enough to even have conversation with like exes or all the above on any one of the topics that we do discuss.
Yeah.
And some people like ask the son's questions straight to me in the DM. So I don't know what I'm looking into when I look in. And I'm like, oh, okay. Appreciate it. And be like, oh, you sure you're not interested? I was like, that's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. But
We're sure.
Yeah, I want no problems. So I would keep photo. 67% said no. I'm one of the yes side.
Yeah, you're on the yes side.
Yeah, because I'm looking for that blackmail check. The next one is marriage, the beginning or the end of a story. 77% said the beginning. How do you feel? Is it the beginning of a story or the ending of a story?
I feel like it's the beginning.
It's the beginning?
It's like it's
Talk to me. Let me hear this.
Maybe it's I would even say same story, new chapter. Same story, new chapter. And the reason why I say that is that because you now have an opportunity to write so much things, not just from your own standpoint, but from the standpoint of you and someone else that you enjoy being with and they enjoy being with you, right? It's like life's a journey that's sweet enough on its own, but can you imagine how sweet it is if you have somebody who's like-minded or someone who wants to achieve the same goals and is willing to walk down that path with you, right? So a whole bunch of new discoveries. Of course, there's probably going to be, like disagreements along the way, but we all say it all the time. The ships need work, right? Sometimes the ships need repairing, you know what I mean? But it's the adventure that you go on, right? I mean, you can't feel like you're going through rocky waters and that ship don't get a battering here and there. But then the waters are calm, and it's what you do when the waters are calm. You look at the ship and say, "Hey, all right, let's go fix that. It's still seaworthy. It still can stand. It can still go on. It can still go on." So yeah, man, I think it's a start of a chapter or beginning of the book, and not the end.
I think the opposite.
You think the opposite?
So I think the opposite because I remember I take it back from, we'll say, fantasy fairy tale aspect.
Right.
You're getting, let's look at what comes to mind. Cinderella.
Okay.
Got a fucked up life.
Mm-hmm.
Your daddy not around. You left with your wicked stepmother. You got your two stepsisters and stuff shitting on you, getting you cleaning, all the above.
Right.
goes to the ball, loses the shoe to the, at the Prince's ball. I don't know how it's a shoe that fit only her, but she loses it.
It's a special shoe, man.
She loses it on the step, and then later she finds the Prince come back, try the shoe on everybody, try it on her.
Right.
And they live happily ever after. What happened to Cinderella after that?
I don't know. She lived happily ever after.
Because that's the end of the story.
Right.
It's the end of the story. It's not the beginning. It's not even like Cinderella Part 2. They had churn. They had kids. They had this. All, like I said, the Little Mermaids, all that type of shit started like that. Now, if we're bringing it to real world, adult world shit.
Right.
I guess, was it Gloria Steinem from the women's movement from the 70s?
Yeah.
I feel like this is the sonic boom no one saw. And I feel like from when the women's movement came in, like, women, the equality, they want to work, and that aspect and that landscape started to be painted.
Yeah.
It started creating like a equal playing ground in the world where women needed men before in the past.
Right.
To kind of say, when I have kids and this man's going to provide this world and this lifestyle.
Right.
Now these women are out here working, busting their ass as much, going to school, doing this, etched out their way. That changes dynamic now because people used to get married at 18, 19, 20, 21.
Right.
That's your prime. That's not even your prime yet for most people. They will start a family then.
Right.
And then they say like the 10, the 20 years and everything, the kids will grow up and they've had their kids. Now they have a quote unquote empty nest.
Right.
The empty nest thing is not happening no more like that. Because most of the people now are having babies later because they're going to school,
right,
getting educated, going to career fields. And by the time they get into that groove,
right,
they're finally meeting somebody. And when they finally meet somebody, this is when they probably might lock in. Like you and I had a conversation and stuff about like, how come you didn't get married earlier?
Right.
And you said you weren't ready.
Right.
And some people aren't ready till probably in their 30s.
Right. Right.
Stats have shown, I want to say, especially in most parts of the world, most major countries of the world, people are getting married and stuff in like their 28s to like 30s.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't want to say it was anecdotal, but I feel, in my opinion, anybody can don't hesitate to G-check me. I'm okay to be, corrected. But I look at it stuff, to my opinion, I feel like if you get married later, I feel like you might put in a little bit more work to kind of keep the marriage going. The reason why I say it like that, because I feel like some people might look at me, I wasted my youth on you, or I didn't know who I was then, but I know who I am now.
Right.
We're different people. I'm out.
Right.
Not saying people don't change. 5 years, a person could be a different person to what they were. Yeah. But I feel like that change is not too far off from where they are, like in their 30s and their 40s time when they're settled. Because some people, and that's their first marriage.
Right.
That's why I feel like when it comes to their first marriage. Me, I got married in my 20s.
Okay.
I'm built to, I want to say, with me, I'm a loyal person. Mm-hmm. So I don't really flinch and move when it comes to everybody else doing their thing.
Right.
It's just that I know what's good for me mentally, and I know what's not good for me mentally. So I think I can do all the repairing to the ship to keep it afloat and keep it going and all the above, but I can't do it by myself.
No, I don't think anybody.
You'll be surprised because some people and stuff feel like with the little that they might say, they consider that work instead of actually physically putting in some stuff. Because I've been in situations where not even just the previous marriage, but in other relationships with other people, like other women, they're having conversations, you didn't do blah, 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 or you're like this. But my actions are speaking louder than my words. You're giving me words.
I think it's also going to depend on how you start off will also determine on how you finish, right? Because we're saying how before when people used to get
married in their youth,
early, right? Empty nesters at an early age. Now they got the rest of their life to live out, and hopefully they can fulfill out that portion, right? Mm-hmm. And then we're talking about also you being the faithful dude, right? Mm-hmm. You've been through the marriage thing once, and now you're in a position where you could possibly go there again. Mm-hmm. but you also know what it entails, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the dude that was just straight up from the age of 18 to the age of 20, let's say 28, right?
10 years.
All he was just a bachelor, not serious, not looking serious at anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he get girls like solid girls, right? But then he reaches around 29, 30 and realizes that these girls that he's getting, a lot of times the relationship is superficial, and then he wants something that's much more. He wants to settle down. He's at the point now where he wants to have kids and so forth like that, right? So he finds somebody. They build that rapport. They do the whole dating game, and they feel like it's a similar path that they're on at this point, right? So then now they decide, hey,
how long is this taking place? You got to give me an ETA for this, because if the guy's 29,
let's say it's taken a 3-year period.
Okay, so now he's 32. So now he's 30.
In his 30s. Now he's in his, let's say,
how old is she? I'm asking for a friend.
Let's say she's around similar age.
Okay,
let's say she's around similar age.
They're both 32,
right? But they both did the song and dance, right?
Mm.
Now they decide to get married. Is it a beginning chapter for them, or is it a closed chapter for them? Because I'm looking at it as a beginning chapter, because here it is you are used to this specific lifestyle to the point where you no longer want this specific lifestyle. You want to do something new. You want to do something that's totally different. You want to engulf in a relationship, a one-on-one meaningful thing, and kind of set the tone for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm. I would say still the end.
Still the end?
The reason why I would say that is because the youngest I heard was 12 years old getting pregnant.
Right.
12-year-old girl getting pregnant.
Right.
Right? Puberty time, once women hit puberty or girls hit puberty, about that time they can now start bearing children.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Scientifically, like personally, I don't know anybody and stuff that, and I think I know one person that had a baby over the age of 40. And 40 is normally the cutoff time for some people.
Normally the cutoff
now, North America, we looked at that the other day. I think men die at like, average man in North America dies at like 78-ish.
78.
And the women die like 82.
Right.
Right? So they're having babies at the half mark of their life, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they make it to the 40.
If they make it.
But some women and stuff, I think everything tends to cut off before 40.
Right.
Right? So I look at it now, if we date, we court, you said 32?
32.
We might have a solid 8 years,
right,
to make babies in case we do or do not. Now, if we got married at 8, let's say we got married at 21.
Right.
We can wait a full 10 years and stuff for to live our marital life out, just enjoying shit. And then say, you know what? We're finally ready to make babies. Right? So we've had 10 years to decide, compared to like, it's a rush to beat the clock.
Right.
Why are we beating the clock? Because when we're saying beating the clock, closing time is this time.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, like the ending on that aspect. I'm not saying the lives are over.
Yeah.
But of course, you can get married in your 50s, and then let's say they both live to set 80 years old. Use this time to vacate, explore light door, open a foundation, do a whole bunch of things. I'm not saying that,
do
but
a whole bunch of stuff.
Marriage isn't the priority first. It's an add-on to someone else's like story. But I want to say togetherness, it will be the start. But to your individual story, if the person's getting married at 32, that's not the beginning of their story. They already experienced like at least, what if we're looking at it, I guess 13 years of adulthood.
But they were never married. But we're never married. We're looking at marriage specifically.
Right.
Is it the beginning
of their story
or the end? Or
of the story of their story
of their story?
Yeah, of their story.
How could it be a beginning if you're not married? You have to be married at some point for it to be a beginning, no?
What do you mean? They have to be
if
married?
we got married today, right?
This is the beginning.
It's the beginning.
Right. But they
ending.
weren't born today. But that's what I'm saying. They weren't born today. If they got married at 32, they had even, let's say 18 years, like 18, they're going legal to get married.
So you're saying ending of their life story.
Well, yeah, their story, their life story.
Their life story.
Their life story. It's not the beginning of their life story. Your adulthood started at 18.
Yeah.
You didn't get married at 18, 19, 20, 21.
I don't see it like that, man. I don't.
And that's cool.
Yeah, I don't see it like that.
Cool.
I don't see it like that. And like I said, and the reason why the reason why I was saying it before is because you had that chance, and I think it's at the end of the day, we know it's going to be an individual thing, right? And if you have it on the mindset, whereas for those 10 years between 18 and 28, all I did was play around, right? Now I'm looking for something serious. Like I'm looking at this as the next chapter of my life, right? You meet somebody and you don't have that long. You're right. You don't have that long to say, okay, we're going to start a family. At that point, you now have to make the decision, right? This is the beginning of the story. Are we going to start the story? Is the story going to include kids? Or it's not going to include kids. If it's not going to include kids, that's fine. But if it's going to include kids, then we got to get on it right now.
Right.
And understand that we got to get on it right now.
And that's why I started with the Gloria Steinem aspect and stuff in the beginning. Because before then,
right,
it was first out of graduation, either high school or possibly college, people are popping off with babies.
Yes.
After like the women's employment and that part of the world started to change, especially within the North American dynamic.
Yeah.
That has now become a ladder thing.
See, and in that time, I would have the opposite feeling in that time.
What?
I would have to, I would look at, if I was to have to get married right out of high school and stuff like that, I would look at marriage as my end.
Why?
Because from the time
you're starting a beautiful world with the woman you love at this.
But I haven't gotten to experience anything without that person. Like, I think, for me personally, I think people need to experience and explore their own personal selves before they come in and join with anybody else.
And I agree to that.
And I think that's where we see a lot of problems with these, these people get married early, not experiencing anything, realizing that this is not the person they should have been with. Now they feel like they're trapped in a situation that they shouldn't be in and find it hard to get out. Sometimes the person might be in an arranged marriage, right? An arranged marriage at that young of an age definitely would probably feel like this is the end of my chapter. But I'm saying if
we're going by stats, arranged marriages last longer than.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, why do they last longer though? Do they last longer because the two individuals are actually in it to win it, or do they last longer because the two individuals look at it as this is a traditional thing, and even though we hate each other, we're gonna stick it out.
Stats, they're still together. Why they're together? It varies from person to person.
Right. I
look at it stuff where, especially in North America now with the whole women empowerment, women file for divorce more than men.
Yeah.
They have a 2 times rate higher to file divorce stuff than men. And women get bored easier than men. So when it comes down to it, if it was an arranged situation where it wasn't maybe their choice, I want to say their choice probably wasn't acknowledged back then.
Right.
Where they probably were in shit situations in the 50s and they just had to just sit there and take it. Now women don't have to take shit no more. I can do bad by myself, and then they just opt out.
They don't, but you still have women who are still taking it. Just 2 days ago, my wife was telling me about a co-working friend that she has. Right? I'm not sure if it was an arranged marriage, but she's in a situation now, right, where it's the family dynamic. And the culture of them would seem like an arranged marriage, right?
Okay.
Now, the husband treats her like shit, right? Cheats on her, does all these things, and she will not leave him. I think the conversation came up we were talking about the pandemic talk, right? And one of the things was, this friend, she actually enjoyed coming into the office and working because it took her out of the situation that was at home. And I'm saying, well, why would you stick in a situation like that?
Choice. It's all choice. I can't feel sorry for a person with the choice aspect. Well, the range of choices that we have here in North America.
Yeah.
Like I look at it like, if you're in an abusive relationship or the dude's about to come for your dome and everything, press some charges. At least show an attempt that, you don't want no parts to deal with this man. This man is dangerous and bad for your health.
Right.
But if you choose to say like, he gonna cheat, but eventually he'll come around, that's still your choice.
That's still your choice. So
I feel like it's choice. I want to say you said it when you and I had conversations before in previous episodes. Some shit you were saying, do you go by the laws of the land or you go by the laws of your culture? And then this is the determinant factor.
Right.
For a lot of people, because in their culture, most of these cultures, depending on the culture, they might not even believe in divorce.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
So they'd rather live with all the shame, the ridicule, the heartache and all that and still be married to say they have that.
Right.
And then in someone else's culture and stuff, it was like, nah, fuck this. My peace and my happiness, my peace of mind come first. So there's a... And it just sever ties and stuff that fast.
Quick to snip.
I don't, like I said, there's no, for me, I just can't see it as a beginning story and stuff now, because even with times and financially what it is now,
right?
We have social media where I want to say some of these weddings, they're not far-fetched. Some of them, I want to say like they look reasonably done to the point that look like anybody can have a dream wedding like that.
Right.
So when I see some weddings where, okay, of course, you got a decent size, let's say the whole like wedding party in totality might be, let's say 300 to 400 people.
Okay.
Right? And you cater to the plates, the photographer, the dresses, the rings, you might rack up a hefty price tag.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah.
You're going to rack up a hefty price tag. And a lot of people will say, like, I heard a friend say, marriage is a rich man's sport. I've told you about that.
Yeah.
He says a rich man's sport where he's thinking you have to pay all of this and stuff for the marriage. I'm like, well, that's the wedding.
It's the wedding.
But other things and stuff in her whole marriage might not even be that expensive compared to like buying a house, depending on if, what are you planning?
Major purchases in your life.
Right.
Yeah.
So I look at it and people like him and other people who think like set friend.
Right.
Their thing is that they need to get their money up. And it might take them a while to kind of get their money up to that level to provide set woman, with modern times person, we're progressive, to like have the kind of ideal dream wedding and stuff that they want. I've been married before.
Yeah.
Right? So I've been married before. I don't need the extra bells and whistles and all the above, but who am I to shit on someone else's day?
Yeah.
So we need to have that conversation and be like, okay, this can work, this cannot work. And she might say, well, nah, fuck that. We got to have the flying doves with the tuxedos on and stuff. Definitely with the wings cut off so they can flap away. You know what I'm saying? And this might rack up certain prices thing a little bit more.
Them doves with the tuxedo on going to be expensive.
Yo, that's not a cheap bag. That's not a cheap bag.
Especially if you got to get the one with a top hat.
You know what I'm saying? So I look at it where a person will look and say, all right, I bought this engagement ring.
Yeah.
Said engagement ring, I don't know. For me, the engagement ring first time around was $2,300 US.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. $2,300 US. Let's say the engagement ring and stuff is maybe like $2,500 and stuff US this time around.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, the rings, yes. I feel like the rings, we're gonna go damn near everywhere. I would like your ring to look nice and stuff when we go out and all the above.
Well,
maybe they might remember the dress. Huh?
Well, they might.
But this is status too. That's status.
The status in the symbol.
Right. The symbol. Oh, right. Because that's what I'm saying. Because like this is like a sense of accomplishment.
Right.
Like, like you're getting married? Yes.
Right. Yeah.
We're married. It's a mark.
Right.
That has taken place.
Right. So you want that to be what it is.
Yeah. I would prefer, like, I would go gusto with the rings, go mediocre with the wedding.
I can agree
That's
with that.
me.
I can agree with that.
That's me. Because I look at it stuff as where damn near every day we're going to be wearing this ring.
Yeah.
But over eventually, or a period of time, like to the ones that were there witnessing our special moment or our special day.
Yeah.
It might be memorable to a good portion of them or it might not be, but it should be more memorable to us.
Yeah.
And that's it. Now, if, like I said, a dream that she wants to have fulfilled, let's look at it. Let's look at a review. Let's see if it makes sense. Because a lot of people, they just look at, this is my world I want to work with, and either roll with me or get rolled over. And then that's another problem and stuff in itself. Because a lot of times now, when you're doing this ladder, like later in your life, I feel like you don't know sense of self till probably like in your late 20s. So you might be more malleable to learn about the world together. Like, let's embrace this embark on this journey of life together. And let's say they get married at 20, 21. Right? They have the woes, the goals, the growing and all that type of. I feel like kids even change dynamic in it too. So, a lot of times in the relationships early, kids might be a factor.
Right.
When in the latter part, I might have my kids, she might not have kids.
Right.
Or she might have kids and I was anti-kid until I see her and us and I'll be like, maybe we might need a kid.
Right.
And that might even cause set turmoil and conflict and stuff too.
Yeah.
But I feel like self, have better understanding of self, late 20s to your 30s to know for a fact this is what you want.
Right.
Because you had more time of, like an additional time of life.
And that's what I was saying. It's like coming out of high school. If you're just getting married fresh out of high school, how much of yourself do you really know at that point?
Nothing. That's why it's the beginning. That's the beginning. You know nothing. Your slate's damn near clear. Hopefully you don't have a criminal record. Hopefully you don't have no babies, no other shit.
Nothing like
pending kind of wild. Besides, like, you're coming out fresh. Start from scratch.
Okay.
All right. So let's get into some things, man.
Okay.
Explain to me with this Vermont Christian school getting banned for not playing against trans player. Are you in agreement with it? Are you not?
I'm not in agreement with them being banned. But I'm in agreement with the school standing up for their rights and their beliefs.
Talk about it. Let me hear this.
Well, I mean, it's
equal grounds for everybody.
Yeah, and I think if me and the team, like I'm the coach, the team, the school itself, the staff, if this is what they believe in,
about what,
that's their tribe.
Oh, you're saying so? Like, don't play against trans players?
Yeah,
that's what they believe in.
Yeah, if
because it's a girls' school,
right.
It's a girls' school,
right.
It's a girls' basketball team. Excuse me, it's a girls' basketball team,
right.
And yeah, they didn't feel comfortable with having a trans woman, meaning former man, converting over to be woman,
to be a woman. Now, and I'm saying if it was just maybe like one or two people who had a problem with it, then okay, yeah, we can make the case. But it's an entire collective. Like, it's not just it's the basketball team itself. It's the school itself. So obviously they have a set of beliefs that they believe in, and they're going to adhere to. They're not going to buckle.
Well, you think the school will speak for the? But I don't think the school speaks for the players though, because I feel like the players might be like, fuck it, because. Keep it a buck. It depends on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I prefer to if it's competition wise, I'd rather go against the best than the worst. Because I feel like if I go against the best and I lose, I'm not that far off from like where I stand close to the top.
Right.
So if I'm these girls now, I'm like, yo, I can hoop. I can hoop in general. I'll ice a dude. I'll ice a chick. Bring them.
I can hoop in general, right? But I'm also looking at it for, okay, I don't want to be the one that sets the precedence, because I believe that I can hoop. I believe that I have the ability to go up against men and women.
Mm-hmm.
There might be other women within that what we would call division, not necessarily division, or whatever the schools compete in within that division, right?
Okay.
There might be other girls who are intimidated by this team with this one player, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they might not have the confidence to stand up, right? And I'm saying
the school's speaking for that though.
Sorry?
I said, wouldn't the school be speaking for that situation? Because if they're not speaking up for themselves, then the school is making a collective agreement to say we're not for the stance.
The school maybe, but I guess the picture I'm trying to paint is I don't want to now go and set the precedence because I feel confident. I feel the confidence in myself to go ahead and take on that team, right? And then I set the precedence. Now, because we went ahead and do it, everybody else has to follow suit. And they might not have the willpower to say no. Maybe me saying no, maybe us saying no, is looking maybe everybody else in the district. We always say this all the time. Why motherfuckers don't speak until somebody else speaks? Till somebody else raise a hand and somebody else says, yeah, I was thinking the same thing too. So sometimes you need that leader. And if that school's looking to say we have a set of values that we're not looking to change, we're not looking to move, not because you say so, not because all of a sudden this is your new ideology, right? No, we're not with that. And if that's how they feel as a collective, I feel they should be respected as a collective. What I think should have happened was the board, right? Should have went around and said, hey, listen, they're not playing this one team because they have a transgendered player on it. Do you agree or do you not agree with them? If you believe it's their belief and they have all right, if you're okay, then we'll let them play. Now, if the rest of the division says, nah, that's messed up, then go ahead, ban them.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Yeah, then go ahead, ban them. But you may have other teams in that same division that think the same way.
But the school is speaking for them and the school is in agreement with that. And that's what I'm saying. The individual, the player might say, I can ice man or woman or trans or other.
Right.
In a one-on-one game. So if I catch them on like a one-on-one session and stuff, whatever, I don't give a fuck who you is. You gonna get crossed. You gonna get the shot in your eye. You gonna get left in the dust. But the schools are like, hey, what we're not gonna do with stuff is that.
Right.
So if they're saying, this is what we want to do, and you're like, no, I want to play. They're like, no. We're not allowing that.
Right.
The school spoke. Each student, let's say who might be legal age.
Yeah.
Can speak about for themselves, or probably, it's not hard to get a press following now.
If you think they might be intimidated to speak for themselves if the school is saying that?
Of course, you don't want to be. We speak about it all the time. The main concern is being liked,
right?
And I feel like a lot of times when it comes to, especially with LGBT matters and stuff, people don't want to be, I guess, on the other side of them or even poked or pointed at.
Right.
So it's kind of like this team that got banned, they look transphobic. And like I said, this doesn't reflect the individuals.
Right.
Probably not even reflect the coach, but it might be like the other figureheads of the school. And they should be probably the ones marked with the transphobia aspect. And the other ones are looking like, yeah, we don't care. But they know for a fact now, if they're labeled with this transphobic paintbrush, they've been painted with this transphobic color.
Right.
And let's say the girl's name is like, I don't know, Olivia Tatalicious. And like, it was...
Leave Tatalicious alone.
I know. She had on the back of her jersey somewhere, and then they hear the name and stuff like, hey, you're Tatalicious, right? You're Olivia Tatalicious? They're like, yo, did you go to that school and stuff? You're transphobic. You're this, you're that. The person's like, no, I wanted to hoop. That was from the coaches.
I wanted to hoop.
But they got painted with this brush. So I think it's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I stand by what I said even months ago or even whenever we had the conversation. You should be able to bet. You should be able to bet on any trans players and stuff in this thing. That's what, like when it comes to betting across the board. Like I said, if LeBron became LeBron now,
right,
and WNBA, bet. You should be able to be able to bet. We're in a situation now where with Leah Thomas, I remember specifically, I think it was either Good Morning America, they interviewed Leah Thomas, but
that's the swimmer?
The swimmer.
Right.
2-3 days later, I saw Vice News with other people who actually swam against Leah Thomas.
Right.
And I think one person was on the Penn State team.
Right.
Shadow and The Voice. You're not trying to see me
Yeah.
because I'm not trying to get painted by that brush. So,
Yeah.
and that's what it is. People don't want to be painted as transphobic or homophobic or any kind of bad brush.
Yeah.
So that's why they won't come forward
But
like
it's-
that. But
I think it's sad though that they're getting painted like that. You know what I mean? Because for some of them, I don't even think it's an issue of you wanting to be either a trans woman or a trans man. Like, that's you. The only issue that they're really defending is that while you want to be a trans woman, you still have the physical ability of a man,
Playing your
which
league.
is unfair.
I told you they need their own league. I said it before. And then somebody told me I was transphobic because I said that. Somebody told me I was transphobic because I said they need their own league and stuff. So I said, biologically, if we're going by science, you are not a man, you are not a woman no more. You went the other scale.
Right.
And that's cool.
That's cool.
I can't tell you what to do with your money
No,
and
that's
your happiness
cool.
and my happiness are two different
Yeah,
things.
that's cool.
However, there's already a set governed board. Now, if you're looking for change for the governed board, you're asking for a lot compared to creating something new.
Right.
Creating something new, what did I say? Start from scratch.
Right.
You start from scratch. You can build it any way you want.
Right.
And if you bought that life, you get the funding. This is the problem with the WNBA I have.
Mm.
They're complaining that men aren't watching the WNBA, but men are watching NBA. Men are watching the men play.
Yeah.
So you need the women to watch the women play,
I tell
and
you-
you need the trans folk to watch the trans folks play.
I tell you what, there's probably more men watching the WNBA than there are women.
Of course.
So you really
But-
can't,
but they want-
you really
but-
can't blame the men.
But it's not. But they want a high demographic of men because they want the same kind of ratings, but it's not really the same kind of game.
nah,
Because I want to say a dunk. I'm not saying a dunk still happen that often in WNBA games.
yeah,
I've watched WNBA games. I want to say to a full entirety, and I probably seen like let's say I probably watched in total less than 5 full games,
right.
and in those 5 games, 0 dunks.
Yeah.
I seen dunks on highlights.
Yeah.
For other games that I haven't watched. So I'm like, in a regular NBA game, you're getting a dunk in the first 2 minutes.
Hmm?
In the first 2 minutes, once that D slack up, bam.
That's it.
You might get a sweet ass layup. You might get a Steph Curry toss up, but expect a dunk.
That's it.
At least a little something underneath the rack, and then you're just, you know what I'm saying? So support your tribe.
Support your tribe.
Support your tribe.
I think I'm actually paying attention to this whole it's not the Olympic Committee.
I think it was.
Was it the Olympic Committee? How they're looking to ban transgendered athletes.
You said it in World Athletics.
World Athletics.
They're tightening the rules on transgender athletes.
I wonder I wonder if that will have a trickle down effect.
Well, I mean that's where the start is. Like
Yeah.
again, the Leah Thomases.
Right.
Right? They're not looking at this where the other way around. I'm not saying it's not happening, but most of them are not trying to be athletes. I think trans people and stuff in general are just trying to survive.
Yeah.
They're just trying to be alive, trying to survive, trying to live their truth. The athletes, this is the problem.
Right.
The athletes is the problem. Now, if
Right.
you want to be a regular trans person in your world, your society, your community,
Yeah.
this doesn't regard to you. There's no regards to you. It might be like your peoples, but if you're gonna watch and support your people, let's say you're not a person that watches sports in general.
Right.
Fuck this got to do with you.
Yeah.
But because okay, I don't watch NASCAR.
Yeah.
I don't watch
I
NASCAR.
don't watch NASCAR either.
Right? Now when is his name Buddy Johnson? Buddy something. I don't want to say Buddy Holly. Buddy Holly's a musician, right?
Buddy Holly's a musician.
Bubba Johnson.
Bubba,
Johnson. There you go. There you
Bubba.
go. Something with a B. Something with a B. Bubba Johnson. When he said what the whole he found a noose in his car garage for his NASCAR and everything. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit. Damn, that's fucked up. I didn't start watching it. I never watched NASCAR.
Yeah.
I never watched NASCAR. And then the fact that I was like, oh shit, let me see what he's about. Like how many first places he won. He ain't no damn Jeff Gordon.
Yeah.
So there's no motivation for me to watch it.
Right, right.
But yes, he's black.
Right.
And I understand the black struggle, but that's not my landscape.
Nah.
That is not my landscape already to say like, oh, watch it some more. Maybe the nooses might stop. You need another type of black dude, my guy. Black person to support your cause.
I mean, those NASCAR races ain't taking place in any urban cities.
They never did NASCAR. They never did a NASCAR in Atlanta.
They ain't doing no NASCAR in Atlanta.
Backwater, Georgia. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm all for everybody playing, but we can't all play together. We can't all play together. Because I remember, I think it was hockey a few years ago. They had their Winter Classic. And I think they had a game with, like, I guess, women hockey players and then men hockey players, like, you know, for like exhibition. Kind of like the celebrity games in the basketball.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think for men, then if you do, then if you don't. Because if you play and you're playing decent enough, you got whooped by a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go too hard in the paint, yo, dog, you can easy up on that though. They're women for Christ's sake. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like it's a no-win kind of dance. And I just feel like a lot of these trans athletes coming up, you're gonna get into clashes of human rights.
Yeah.
And what is already kind of set in stone is etched in stone. We need to make new governing bodies and new leagues for these things. NBA, what was it before? ABA?
ABA.
Was the ABA the Negro one?
I think ABA was,
The Negro one.
Yeah.
And then they made it to NBA. And NBA was like the Caucasian one. And when they merged the leagues together...
ABA and CBA? No.
It was something else.
Yeah, it was something else.
And then it became together in the collective as the NBA. Right? Because the worlds and stuff have merged and now changed.
Right.
Now, if they're looking for something like that, shoot for that.
Yeah.
You can't expect this old system that's already been in place to change. Picture you telling a granny who's 98 years old, who's been living her life calling, let's say, black people and stuff, like she's white, she's calling black people all her life colored folk. Grandma, that's not nice. We're going to need you to say black people or African American. She's like, the fuck? I got 2 years left on this motherfucking planet. Possibly.
Right.
Why should I fucking change? I'm already late in the game. Change the younger ones.
At this point, right.
At this point. So if you feel like the world's moving that progressive like that, as I guess a trans player in this case, maybe you should try pioneer a league.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're not going to give them their own league, right?
No, you who's giving them? You have to earn it. They have to make it.
No, I'm saying, if you're not going to give them their own league, or you're not going to allow them to earn their own league, you're just going to say, well, we don't want to do that. Just join this league. Then what's the sense of having women's and men's? Just scrap that.
Well, biologically, there's a physicality difference between.
Yeah, but we're saying now. But what we're saying now is screw the physicality. Mm-hmm. Yes, Joe was born a man, but he's now Joanne, so he can go play on the women's league.
That's nice. That was nice.
Well, just skip the transition part. Just let the men play in the women's league.
With a wig on?
With a wig on. Some coconuts.
Some coconuts. Yeah, such is life, man. I told you, athletics, man. What's the other athletic thing? Trump running. Trump running. First of all, the AI game is remarkable now.
Bro.
Salute to, there's going to be, I'm telling you, I shit you not. Before we start on this Trump thing, remember this. And I'm glad podcasts will go on the internet and they're going to live forever.
Forever.
I said it.
You said it.
I'm going to say it.
Say it again.
It's going to be that one moment where you're going to see a doctor and he can't fucking save you. He or she or they or them cannot save you. Why? Because they've gotten their medical degree from ChatGPT.
From ChatGPT.
From ChatGPT. It did all their homework. They can't save no lives.
Sciences.
For what? Any woman you meet or any person you meet online now, you legit have to see them face to face.
You have to.
You're going to get an AI figure sent to you. I looked at this Trump photo thing. Right. First of all, when I seen it, because I'm hearing all about Trump, the
When he's
Mar-a-Lago,
right, yeah.
he's gonna get jail time.
Yeah.
Then I see the photo, I'm like, oh shit, they went and got Trumpet,
They went and got him.
not knowing his AI shit. So I was like, hold on, first and foremost, if I was ever that kind of super liar, I need a photo with me like wrestling like a great white shark,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna frame that bitch and give me an AI photo with my face on it. I don't see black people doing that too much, so you're gonna darken the hue
The hue.
of the Caucasian to try and fit my tone, put my face on it, be like, this nigga out here underwater wrestling these great white sharks.
Yeah.
I need a photo like that because this Trump thing looked legit.
Bro,
Him running and all that type of stuff.
I'm starting to tell people, listen, man. Even if I did do it, it's AI. If the photo pops up with me in it and it's something questionable, it's AI.
Yeah, you can argue that in courts now.
Yes!
You might as well. You might as well. What if you're like, I seen you. You're with this woman.
Oh, no,
Somebody
no.
sent the
No,
photo.
no,
I'm like, hold on. So you believe everybody who downloads this AI app and put my face on it? Nobody wants to see us together.
Right?
Get the fuck out of here.
Right? But so what'd you think of the post that I sent you with the Kanye doing the Justin Bieber verse?
I think it's fucking dope. I'll tell you why. Play this.
Yeah.
It was like, overall, it was nonsense.
Right.
But I had to take a deep breath. And I looked at it and stuff as that, how many times have you said, I know I can tell you exact song. I can give you exact song and you know.
Right.
If I say, it's a blank song featuring J. Cole. And I said this about the artists and stuff before. And I said, set artists, if they knew how J. Cole was going to crush it, they would have stepped their bars up. Now I let the world decide what you and I know.
Right.
Off the record and stuff, right?
Right.
If you knew that person's verse was Garbaggio, and you said you want to do that whole Kanye, Justin Bieber thing,
Yeah.
you swap that person's voice with even like a J. Cole. So now this verse, that verse that you overplaced, is just now the quote unquote the jokey verse, the not so serious verse,
Right.
And then the regular verse that he crushed it on, you're looking like he can't correct. Like what song I was thinking about the other day, and I said, I'm glad. Oh, Neck and Wrist.
Okay, yeah. Neck and Wrist on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Pusha T's verse was a jokey yet hard kind of verse to me.
Right.
The money kind of ding. It's so exciting. Summertime, Winterfell. I'm the Night King. All this little high-pitched little jokes on the ending.
Right.
Your bitch in my bubble, she's still typing. All that is joke. Bring in Hove now. Bring in Jay's verse. He ain't come with that.
No.
He came with like solidified, no joke of a matter kind of bar.
Energy.
And I was like, okay, Pusha still killed it.
Right.
Let's say Pusha didn't kill it. And say the verse was like kind of mid. Why not do AI shit, whatever, like go over a Memph Bleak over that or something and give Memph Bleak a little resurrection for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So it can go kind of wild. Now, a lot of people, the people that I know won't go that far to do things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's up for discussion because some people would just feel like that and then they're going to make a simpler app where you just run the person's voice through and you can do that for fun.
Listen, if we're already complaining, right? That superstar rappers don't have enough time to pen their own lyrics, right? Ghostwriters is penning their own lyrics. How long is it going to be before we're going to have like ghost rappers?
Oh, they're already here.
Like I literally come in and instead of me penning it for you to rap it over, no. Go ahead, rap it. We got the Jay-Z AI voice already, just to throw. We got the Drake AI voice ready. No, Drake knows what we're doing. They don't have no time. And at that point, what do? You can just probably license your voice. You probably license your voice.
Yeah.
Think of James Earl Jones at some point. You license his voice. You could have that deep voice for even when he's said and gone.
We're almost there though.
It's crazy.
We're almost there. I feel like the AIs, the chat GPTs, these things have, let's say this, they were created for good, but evil is not right around the corner.
Right.
And the longevity of these things are gonna stand the test of time, and they're gonna run, and it's gonna work. How long are they gonna work and diffuse? This is where I think people skills will come back interchangeable. So, let's say, for example, the job force, to kind of look at what they can make robots to what they can't. So, like, the old phone calls, they'd be like, hi, this is Cullen, the marketer. Now you get these digital robot calls.
Yeah.
They're eventually going to find a way to kind of bring back the realism. Because I feel like a good portion of people are going to have this set problem with it. Be like, I don't know what's real and what's fake.
Bro, think about it, man. You can do that, like, your AI GPT chat dude is doing your virtual meeting with the rest of your group while you're all shooting hoops.
Mm-hmm. I seen a text message one where, like, if you don't know how to talk to women, that's the one that my people show me at work. So the man, what he did, he typed, he said, this is this woman he just started seeing. And he said it's so funny because he didn't take it too serious.
Right.
But she thinks he's the most intelligent person in the world. But the chat GPT is kind of like, it's run through the internet.
Yeah.
So he just copies what she says, pastes it into the app.
Right.
And then it spits out
instantaneous.
But then remember, you have tons of people in today's world, they're texters.
Right.
So when you're seeing that, you'd be like, oh, I guess he's a texter. And then when you see him up close and personal, he might hit you with a story. Because I asked him, so what do you do if, like, she calls your bluff on some of the shit you were saying in the message? He said he reviews it before he speaks to her on the phone conversation. That day,
what do they call it? Quip notes?
Yeah, it's a script. So there's no longer gonna be real shit no more. There's not gonna be real relationships. Real what? How you gonna know real from the fake unless it happens right in front of you?
Listen, one of my reps that I deal with the music software company tells me, he goes, all the descriptions that he does for the products, don't chat GPT. He's not got no time to sit down and compose all of that, man. I just throw in what I want. Bingo! I just get it back.
See? And then every day I'll go to, like, different blogs or websites.
Right.
And see that there's a new rendition or spicy version of whatever chat GPT. Mm-hmm. And then they might have articles of, like, chat GPT a problem. Like when I see it on some tech blogs,
right,
I was like, oh, okay, but it hasn't crossed over into the mommy blog yet.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
What I know of. But let's say, for example, if it went from the tech blog, it's now into the dating blog, like I said, in that world.
Yeah.
Because now you're copying and pasting, and now this is handling your whole courtship through communication before you go on initial dates.
Right.
Right? Medical questions. Medical questions before. Think about it. A person might went through down the quote unquote Ontario has the rabbit hole commercials.
Yeah.
Where they don't know what to search now. You copy and paste exactly what you're going to search, and this thing's going to give you a list of proper options that they combed the internet for. So now, preferably, you're not really going down a rabbit hole because this app has now brought the rabbit hole to you or brought the rabbit hole to be that shallow.
I wonder how much it breaks down as far as good information from bad information. Like if it compares from like all different sources. So let's say because medical-wise is there.
Medical-wise it's there.
It's there.
From what I seen, because that's exactly what I went to go hunt it for. Like, I have a chat GPT. I had it on my laptop.
Okay.
Had it on the laptop just to run it through to give it a test while all the talks was coming up in January, February time.
Yeah.
And I was seeing it. I started typing medical questions in there. I started answering it. Start answering like any other medical professional that I know would answer it. And I even start asking it some kind of, I guess, how to clean wounds, like a nursing aspect.
Yeah.
That things that I've seen done before.
Right.
But now I just want to know, like, step by step from aseptic techniques. It tells you exactly how to go about it in a proper manner. So I was like, and this paragraph was chunky. Yeah. Like, you asked it a basic kind of health, like medical question, give you a full detailed dossier. And I was like, You're just gonna need somebody who can type fast. That's it.
That's it.
We have an emergency. What to do? How to remove bullet fragment? How to remove bullet?
A few months back,
Mhm.
there was the one student in university who created a software program that would detect if you used Chat GPT to create your paper or whatever. It's going to be a constant back and forth, just like how we see with trying to stop counterfeiters as far as money comes, right?
Mm-hmm.
This new technology, all this build, this polymer fiber text, like it's no way these counterfeiters can copy it. Next week, found counterfeiters got a copy of it. Then they say, okay, we did this hologram sticker on top of it. It's hard to reproduce when you did. It's like they can't get that part. A week later, they get that part. I feel it's going to be the similar situation with this whole
Of course.
AI situation. Like they're now thinking of ways of how to spot deep fakes because they know it's going to be a problem.
Look, I said it earlier pertaining to the trans thing, and I'll say it again now. The world we live in is not the same what we used to live in before. We live in a different time now where things are brand new and we have to now adjust to create a brand new world for set things.
Right.
Right? That's the reason. Think about this. Think about the job field, we'll say 20 years ago,
Right.
for catching cyber crimes. Max in the field, you might get 1,000 across US. That's even, but sounds like a lot. We know money and embezzlement has always been a thing.
Yeah.
But now they're using more sources of, like, I want to say electronics to move
right.
money. Cyber crimes have been gone through the roof now.
Right.
Certain facilities, they might at least have. I used to talk to a girl, she worked at CIBC. She said she worked at CIBC, like at the bank, and it was like 3 people in her department. And all they did was just sit there at the desk and stuff, whatever. Yeah, criminology. She went to school for criminology.
Yeah.
And she ended up getting into like cyber security. And that's what she does. She just sits there at one of the tower buildings and stuff, giving out her info like that. She probably don't work there no more. This is years ago.
Right.
Just sit there and just try to catch cyber crimes.
Right.
There was never a need like that even 20, 30 years ago.
Right. Right.
We live in a new world. We have to adjust to like what the world is and stuff now. But a lot of people, they're thinking archaic. Like, no, we don't need to. You do need to adjust.
Yeah, no, you got
this. They're going to come up with a new Chat GPT that's going to be traceable. Like, what movie was that? Fucking The Big Hit. They had the thing where you can trace your call, like star 69.
Right.
Star 67 hit your number. Star 69 like blocks it, right? Something like that.
Something like that.
One of the blocks. Can't remember. Old school.
Yeah.
It's called Trace Buster. The father invented it. And he's like, well, they're probably using a trace buster, so he has a trace buster to trace bust that bust. And, you know what I'm saying? And I'm looking like, that's what you have to do.
That's what you have to do. That's what
you have to adjust to, okay, this is the new problem.
Yeah.
We have to adjust to the new problem.
Yeah.
Problem's going to constantly change because man's mind is constantly changing.
Well, I mean, that's all these phone updates are. It's like, why did I get a new
church
update?
Say amen?
Because hackers figured out the last thing that you fixed, and now they cracked that. Oh, so now you got to go see what the hackers figured out. Oh, now we got to patch that. Here's your update.
Yeah. Let me ask you something, man. Next thing, though. You see like how that wasn't around 25 years?
Yeah.
20 years ago? Cybersecurity. And now we need it. WorldStar been around for years.
Mm-hmm.
Do we still need WorldStar? We have melanin rooms. We have Shade Room. We have Hollywood Unlocked. We have a lot of blogs pertaining to, let's say, the Black urban culture. WorldStar was pioneer.
Right.
WorldStar is still pumping to this day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you think WorldStar will be pumping in the next 5 years?
I think so.
You think so?
Why? I don't think that we need it, but I think it's become a staple.
Talk to me.
Whereas
some of these young kids might not know what, like when they see a fight, they might WorldStar. Like they might know.
They might the phrasing.
The phrasing.
The phrasing.
But then they might not know it's an actual website.
They might not know it's an actual website. But even nowadays, like someone like the shits and giggles stuff, bullshit that we see pop up on these melanin sites, right?
Just have the watermark.
A lot of times it's coming from WorldStar because WorldStar is still out there doing the real hard news, and then all these other sites are just picking from WorldStar.
I just don't feel like not everybody, let's say, like amongst ourselves,
Mm.
or even like we'll do research and to see where is it coming from, because deep down inside we still do believe in journalism. You're an asshole, by the way. I couldn't wait to tell you that.
Leave me alone, man.
I couldn't wait to tell you. You podcasting people are the problem. That's why journalism is dying off like that, okay?
Is that what it is?
You guys are sickening to me. Because you guys want to do your own research and then you guys want to talk about these things. Not all you guys. I like the liar people who just go out there and just spit anecdotal bullshit on the podcast. But the ones that spend the time and do the research, you guys are hurting journalism.
Y'all need the truth. We're here to give you the truth.
And because I think that's the part of the reason why stuff like WorldStar will still thrive on with those watermarks.
Right.
Because somebody be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Let me look down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Some people might be like, ignore, and they'd be like, where is this? Where's the original video? Where did this come from?
Right.
Some people don't know WorldStar is a place. So I just look at it like, as we keep going along, there's more and more blogs and spaces where before, I don't say they were accessible like that, but now they're kind of blowing up and now they're kind of more easier to find. So I feel like those blogs now, they may or may not last within the 5 years, but WorldStar's been here for quite some damn time.
I wonder if now that we're seeing an influx of all these other different outlets for urban news, I wonder if it's forcing WorldStar to take a more of a marketing presence.
Of course.
To let people know that they're out there.
Oh, they pissed me off now.
Yeah?
Oh, they pissed me off. Oh my God. WorldStar wasn't the same way how I remember it. With WorldStar now, you know me.
Right.
I got a problem. I like tabs. Folks, if you hearing this, I like tabs. I don't like new windows and I don't like to click down the regular link. I like to make a damn tab. I like to know when I'm done with this page, X, the shit closed. I go to make a new tab for a video. Hey, are you leaving WorldStar? Don't you want to enter a contest to get our hoodie? Hey, don't go. We got these Beats by Dre WorldStar edition. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I came for a video purpose, or I came to see what the people might be talking about, you know?
Right.
Or what's going on in people that might look like, no.
Yeah.
No. But they have to do things like, now WorldStar is a dating app.
Well, and I'm saying that's probably
to keep with the modern times.
And that's probably why they're gonna be around for the next 5 years, because we see all these smaller guys pop up and they have the content, whether they're getting it from WorldStar or they're getting this from other places. But I don't believe they have the traffic as WorldStar as of yet. And with WorldStar still having that traffic, they're bringing in the revenue, the ad revenue and all that. So they have the money to keep feeding the machine, where these smaller guys may not have that much money to keep up with the presence of a WorldStar. Just like when we see, like, you said it to me last week. Do you think WorldStar could be like our CNN? There's other news outlets than CNN, but it's just that CNN has made itself into such a behemoth. You know those call letters. You CNN. I say it. You picture the red letters in your head. Like it's imprinted in your mind. Like when you see WorldStar, the first thing that pops into my vision is the logo.
The red print logo.
Is the logo, right? So now if you have that presence and then you just keep hammering that presence just to let people know you're around. Just let people know you're around. And you're right. The new kids. The new kids is like WorldStar. Where I've heard that? Oh, you heard Pop say that
whenever a fight broke out.
Now you're saying WorldStar. This is something that gets it, and it could be just it could be simple as a generational thing, right? It's like a lot of the music that we listen to, we may have not been around when they were being recorded or being released to the public, but because grandma listened to it, and we were little kids growing up and hearing it in the background. Then our parents listened to it, and we grow up and we started paying more attention to the songs that they're listening to. To now that it's become a classic that we know, even though we weren't around at the time when it was truly popping. Same thing I look at and see with the WorldStar.
Some people care, some people don't.
Some people care, some people don't.
Right? Because let's say even any song that might have been sampled by a previous artist, like we talked about the Mariah Carey thing, right? With the fantasy. And I don't see the Weather Girls. I always keep fucking up. I think the Mary Jane girl.
Could be Mary Jane girls.
I think the Mary Jane girls did the that first rendition of it, and then Lotto did Mariah the spinoff from the Mariah Carey. And some people who beat and jam to the Lotto version don't even know the originator of that, right? So I feel like WorldStar probably, for me, it's like a black CNN. But to somebody else's stuff, it was just an originator, but they didn't do it properly compared to like the more latest and recent.
Right.
So you got Baller Alert,
Shade Room.
And Shade Room shit, to me, I feel like, salute to the team they have at Shade Room. Because every post I see, if I look at it, this shit says like 15, 20 minutes ago. If I try to look for it later that day, like, oh shit, smooth. I see this shit on Shade Room today. I can't find it.
No,
or it might be 18 posts.
No,
go.
They're working over there.
They're working over there. So that's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that WorldStar, they're not working. Like, yeah, you could probably pull up like after midnight when they start a brand new day.
Yeah.
You might see about 8 videos. And let's say in an hour, you hit refresh to the 1 o'clock in the morning mark. You're going to probably see another 8. You might see another 3. But they're working over there. Not as much as like some of these other places because they know they don't have the capital.
Right.
But they might have the manpower and the bodies.
Right.
So, or the chat GPTs.
Or the chat GPTs. You go to the office, it's just computers.
Mm-hmm. Let's cover one more thing real quick. Let's talk about the 6ix9ine thing. How you feel about 6ix9ine get caught slipping in the gym? Was this the triumph you were looking for? Because I know a lot of people like, I seen Black Twitter. Yeah. Again, another world, another space.
Another space.
Right? Black Twitter, they went off.
They went off. They went off.
It was like, like you're clapping in the rafters.
Yeah.
Did we champ what are we doing? What did you do? Did you champion? How did you seeing 6ix9ine in his situation make you feel? Talk to us, not your average.
Yeah, I was like, I was much for it. Simply because
you wasn't much for it, or you were?
No, I wasn't much for it simply because I think the dudes that jumped him are probably far and removed from what the original things that he should be jumped for, and it's just the doing it for clout type of thing.
Ah, okay. For me, it's hard to run.
It is hard to run. It's very hard to run.
It's hard to run, especially in today's time.
Yeah.
So I think the thing is where this felt like Joffrey from Game of Thrones to me.
Yeah.
Where we've seen it so much on the other side when we wanted to see it. Like, all right, you're doing a lot on this side, talking a lot of shit on here.
Yeah.
What happens if you get silenced? And to be honest, this way how this interaction went down, I thank God he didn't lose his life.
Yeah.
I was grateful that he didn't lose his life. Because when, wherever I seen it first, it was like 6ix9ine got caught, and I read before I even swiped over. Because like, he's alive though, right?
Yeah.
He's alive. We just want to make sure. And then when he was alive, I was good.
The most, I think, bodily injured, and then they had to send the off. But I seen the video. Dude looked like he walked on his own accord out of that bathroom. So I don't know how bad the damage was.
Dude, they stomped the shit. Yeah, I seen from the angles. They stomped and they had him. He was leaking.
Yeah,
he was leaking.
Yeah, that part I noticed.
But I was like, well, it's like it's kind of this is lights compared to like
what really
what the culture expected.
Really would have happened if the people that were supposed to catch you caught you.
And let the church say amen. That part. Will I change my life, world? No, fuck no. He's not that significant and stuff in my world. But it was just, I just seen it and I was like, he's always created a villainy air about him.
Yeah.
So you can't really champion too much for a villain, especially when they're arrogant.
Yeah.
Right? I would hope, let's say, for example, because I guess allegedly they claim Gunna snitched. Right?
Right.
So far, I haven't heard Gunna say or act any in regards to like 6ix9ine.
Right.
Two high-profile rappers caught up in a whole Rico kind of gang situation, and you can see the difference between the two. I hope, if anything, Gunna doesn't even receive a situation like this because he wasn't out here big and boasty like how 6ix9ine was. 6ix9ine made videos fresh out, $1 million stacks, arguing with Meek Mills, arguing with whoever. He has beef with like so many people because he knows he was well protected.
And that's
some security detail had to get fired this past weekend.
and that's one of the things I was gonna say is that again. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the security details fault, right? Because you're in a space where you know the dudes who you're supposed to be looking out for are not there. So you let down your guard. You're not thinking Joe Blow doing anything for clout. Is the one that you really got to look out for.
What does I'm saying? You'll be surprised because you can't hide from the internet.
You can't hide from the internet.
Right? Because his case itself was like, high profile for the community.
Right.
Right? And when you're looking at that situation, yeah, some people might not have paid it no attention. Some people, they might be well invested because in our culture, snitches get stitches, like, stop snitching. That campaign and stuff was heavy and he swam in it and he wore it with pride.
Yeah, yeah.
And I guess to wear other scars and stuff with pride too.
I wasn't hearing actually what they were saying when they were stomping him out. Was there any? Were they alluding to him like being a snitch? That's why they were doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Leads me to my question of the week. Are you ready?
Question of the week.
Do you trust your local police?
To direct traffic, maybe.
Whoa. But they're your tax dollars. You pay your tax dollars to them. Tell me why you don't trust your police.
Because the amount of crime that happens that they don't solve, man.
Has anybody ever called the cops on you before? You're a DJ at dance halls and parties and everything. Did you DJ in an apartment somewhere where...
Oh, one time we were coming from a club. This is like we were like in our like teens. I want to say between the ages of 17 and 19. So we were coming from this club downtown Toronto called Focus, right? And at the time we were still young. There was no real drivers in the crew, so we took the bus, right? We took the 24 hour.
You were DJing?
No, I wasn't DJing.
Oh,
I wasn't DJing. It was just party going, right?
Yeah.
And so we would take the 24-hour bus. So right at...
They call that the vomit rocket in my time.
The vomit rocket?
Because you get all the drunky people and stuff on that bitch just trying to make it home.
So right at... So we were waiting at the bus right at the corner of Yonge and Bloor.
Okay.
So we made our way, walked all the way up Yonge Street, got to Bloor, waiting on the bus stop, right? So across, right there in that area, there's a lot of like office buildings and condos, right? So that night, I don't know, there must have been this person in one of the condo units and they were saying stuff. So we were arguing back and forth with them.
You can't see them, but you can hear them.
We can't see them, but we can hear them. We're arguing back and forth.
Oh,
with them,
teenage
right?
angst. Go ahead.
You gotta love those days.
Yeah.
So anyway, our bus finally comes and we catch our bus, right? So the bus doesn't take us all the way to Jane Street where we were going. It stops at the Dundas West bus station.
Okay.
And then from the Dundas West bus station, we gotta catch another bus heading to Jane, right? So now we're there at the station and we're waiting. All of a sudden, we see about 3 or 4 cop cars pull up into the station. They like jump out the car. Everybody get up against the wall. Everybody get against the wall. So we're like, oh shit. We all run and slap our hands up on the glass like this. And we're like, yo, what the hell's going on? What the hell's going on? Oh, we got a call about a disturbance.
From Young and Bloor.
And that somebody might have a gun. This is from us walking around at Young and Bloor, right? I was like, yo, officer, it's nothing like that. I was like, we were having an argument with somebody in the condo. They ended up searching us. One of my boys had it like one of them long ass Crocodile Dundee knives on him.
Oh shit!
Took away his Crocodile Dundee knife, but they ended up just letting us go. But I was
okay, so they didn't take it. Thank goodness.
They ended up just letting us go. It's like, yo, that's crazy. That's the first and only time that I've ever gotten
somebody called the cops.
Call the cops on me. But again, it's like, thank God, because it could have ended so differently. You know what I mean? Like that time, because it's that time in the morning. We're talking like maybe 2 going out to 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's just us, a group of black youths and officers.
Mm-hmm.
Make it worse, one of us had a Crocodile Dundee knife.
I think my bootleg shoplifting situation. I was telling you, like in the mall.
Yeah.
That was the only time a cop has been called on me.
Okay.
That I know.
Right.
I've been in other situations where I think cops' intention wasn't me, but they just felt like they wanted to focus on me.
They felt like they wanted to focus on
and then it became something else. Because I remember I was with somebody and they got pulled over. I remember one time you and I was recruiting with Dre, and it happened to me too. And I ended up reacting a little bit different. So it was,
right.
I think you were in the passenger side, Dre was driving, and I was in the back seat, and we got pulled over because I think something about with him either not stopping or something like that.
He was probably doing one of those rolling. Dre's famous for the rolling stop at the stop sign.
So a rolling stop happened, and then doot doot. I'm like, all right, I'm in the back seat. I remember looking at some magazine. Officer's like, I'm looking like, the front is up some more.
Focus on the driver.
What's your name? Why? You don't have a seatbelt on. In the back seat. Is it optional here? Well, no, and PO, I was like, oh my gosh. I had situations, like I said, police was just there for there was a fight that broke out at this restaurant. And it was, somewhere in the Queen Club District vicinity.
Yeah.
Here. Fight broke out. I was actually on a date with an ex. I mean, while I'm there, I don't have no nudes on that one. No nudes on that one.
Okay.
But I was there, we're having dinner, and a fight, legit, argument broke out, and the guy started tussling and stuff into the restaurant.
Right.
So, I took it to the side, kind of just got back. Then eventually the cops came. So they're like, oh, we're sorry, blah, blah, blah. We're going to comp people, because there was a lot of tables and tussling.
Yeah.
They're like, we're going to comp people for, I think, 20% off their bills.
Okay.
If you were in there at that time. So cops come. There was a fight that broke out. So I'm there with the ex, chopping it up and I can't wait for it tonight. You know anything that took place here? Well, what? Were you here when the fight broke out? I'm like, yeah, a ton of us. We're getting your statement now. I'm like, we'll get someone else's statement first. I'm like, you walked directly over here. Yeah. You got a smart mouth, kid. I was like, oh my fuck. It's like, how did I get caught up in this? So even the people who worked at it were like, no. He has nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah.
Him and his girl, they were just minding their business. The other people were a lot closer. You need to talk to them. I was like, God bless you. Because I'm dark-skinned and this stuff is automatic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
you knew the culprits.
I haven't called the police on anybody. I wanted to. So, but I don't really have trust in the local authority like that.
Right.
And the person, let's just say this. I didn't know who they were.
Right.
But I just looked at them. They were of my ilk.
Okay. Yeah.
Another black man. And I look at it, so I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that to you.
Right.
So when everything was popping off, it was, again, an altercation between him and somebody else, and we just separated. Long story short, dude who he beat up, I think the sister was younger or something like that, or it felt like kind of pedophile-ish.
Okay.
But the guy's like, the guy who got beat up and stuff, he's like, she's legal to date whoever she wants.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, I don't know the full story,
Someone
but
have
I
to
just
stay-
can't watch you like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? All in front of us.
Can't watch him get pummeled.
Man, the guy walked over to him and stuff and just started icing him. And you just saw like blood start flying. And then somebody grabbed dude
Right.
off of him. And he's like, you need to stay away from my sister. But I'm like, what did he do?
Yeah.
And then when I heard that, guy's like, well, she cheated on me. So I was like, yeah, this is some Jerry Springer and Maury Povich shit. So then
It got to
the
that
person
point.
who kind of pulled dude off, whatever, they look at me and my soul and my eyeball, my pupils. Can you call the police? I pump faked that shit. I was like, yeah. And I just pressed like the screen
Listen,
and I just left it.
listen, man.
I was like, are you gonna leave? Just go. And then he just left. And I just like, yeah, I'm not gonna call him.
Listen, last week, right?
Last week, you got too much.
Hold
You
on,
need to
bro.
trust your cops then.
Listen, man. Listen, last week I was heading down, just heading down Brisdale,
Mm.
right? And I was going to the liquor store. About, I want to say maybe 30 meters in front of me, right?
Mhm.
You had a Tesla that was coming from the side street, and then another lady coming in another car, driving in the opposite direction of
Okay.
me. So she's coming towards me, I'm heading towards her. The Tesla is stopped at the stop sign
To come across.
to
for
come
you guys.
to come across between us,
Right.
right?
Because you guys are going north and south and they're going east and
Right.
west.
Right. I'm not sure if the young lady in the Tesla was paying attention,
Mhm.
or she didn't creep up enough to see the oncoming car,
Mhm.
right? But as soon as she decided to go, the oncoming car was already past her. So she hit the back and like the car did a 180 spin.
Oh,
Right?
shit.
So now, of course, she's at fault, right? And I know it's just simply not paying attention. And I'm saying, Tesla's is a hard car to fix. It's probably bad enough for you, and it literally is. They say most accidents happen within like 5 minutes away from your home. This was literally a minute away because her mom came out
Oh.
and seen everything, right? And it's like, so there's another dude in a FedEx truck. He was like, yo, he came out and he started talking to me. Another dude, and he was like, yo, I heard the bang. So when I turned on, it came out and I seen everything. I said, yeah, because he asked me if I seen it. And I said, yeah, it happened right in front of me. If I was like maybe half a second earlier,
You probably didn't.
I probably would have been in the mix. So he goes, yeah, that girl's at fault. And I go, yeah, I know. But I ain't saying anything.
You can't afford me.
Yeah. So anyway, so I came out and I checked on everybody to make sure everybody was good, right? And then
They identify your punk ass.
so then the mom ran back in the house, but the sister was there. So I went over to the sister. I said, listen.
You involved quite a lot, sir.
I said, hold on. I went to the sister and I said, listen, man. She was at the stop sign, and my guess is she just didn't see her coming. I'm like, that would be my guess, right? The lady's coming out. What she should have did was creep out more because the stop sign was in. You know, the high snow banks, so you can't really see what's coming down the corner. What she should have did was creep out more and then look again, then take off. But you know, you're going home with those Teslas. You step on the gas, that thing is moving,
Okay.
right? Move out, clip the car. So I said, yo, just tell them it's an accident. And she's like, it's like she didn't want to hear me. I'm like, no, I'm telling you what to tell your mom to tell your daughter, because I cannot stay. If I stay, the first thing they're gonna ask is, was there any eyewitnesses? And I'm not trying to sink nobody's boat right now. So I'm going to jump in my car and go where I'm going. But I'm going to leave you guys with this little piece of advice first. And then I took my ass off. I thought that cops were just pulling up when I was pulling away.
I was about to say, you were invested though. You did a lot. I'd be like, I saw the other day I was on the phone. I was actually talking to my girl.
Yeah.
I was on the phone. I'm like, this person kind of swerving, kind of wild. I'm like, are they losing control? And then you see it's like they hit like a brick or they just stopped instantaneously. And the car just went straight into, I guess the guardrail.
Right.
So like, when you have the exit side,
yeah,
and then you have the still going onto the highway, they just clashed into that corner.
Right. Okay.
So I was like, oh shit. I looked at him like, damn. And then I was on the phone. She's like, what happened? I was like, yo, I just seen the car just legit go into like the side of the wall.
Yeah.
It's like, for real? I'm like, yeah. You can't afford me in court. I'm not a cheap motherfucker, so I continue driving.
I had to just got into that car and I was like, listen, I'm out of here.
You got out. You want to negotiate shit. All right, Kevin Spacey.
I'm not sticking around.
Miss me with that. I don't trust government or local. I don't trust like local police that well due to the fact is that even with living within the GTA,
yeah,
I've had a little bit more decent interactions than I've had bad.
Yeah. But
I just feel like, again, they just automatically just turn and look at me. I don't know if I have that, hey, he might know some shit look like or something. Like I said, I went right back to my meal. I was with, da-da-da. At that time, we were there like, the man came legit up to the table, like low key was kind of homo, like no, like he just. I turned my head, I just saw his crotch. His crotch was just right there in my face, and I'm looking like, who the hell is this? But I saw the dark ass police uniform. I look up. Can you tell me what happened, bro? There's other closer tables.
Yeah,
like our table got moved, but our food didn't spill.
Yeah.
These other people have to get full on meals, brand new meals, and it said it's only being comped 20%.
Right.
We still got our meal intact.
Right.
Why are you coming to me with info? You don't see people standing around looking like, well, I want my meal and stuff to come now. Damn.
Which is, yeah. Why did they go to you? Wouldn't it make more sense if you scanned the room and says, is there anyone who's seen what happened?
Have you seen my melanin tint?
Yes, I see.
All right.
Okay. My next question is, were there any more melanin tinted people in the restaurant?
No. I want to say the other person that was, I believe it was a he. It was I want to say he was the token in whatever party that was.
Okay.
Because I looked. Because, like sometimes if you go to another place, you see another black man and stuff, you give him a head nod.
Yeah.
You give him a head nod, right?
We're here.
So like after the whole commotion calmed down and stuff, because remember, these two white guys that went at it, right?
Right.
So after the commotion went down, I'm looking at my girl at the time, who's black.
Yeah.
I was like, this shit crazy. And like, she's like, yo, these white people are wild. And she said, I was like, yeah, right. And then I looked at the token way down there. I was like, Caucasians, right? He didn't even flinch. She's like, it's like, what is this guy talking about with his head? He gave me that look. I'm like, clearly you're not down. No. So let me keep my head shut. So I was expecting him to come save me.
Because if he was down, you would have caught him looking at you, waiting for him to see it. You'd have been, when you're waiting for to get it.
I told you, I went to a place. It was me and it was another black dude. I was dating a woman who was Italian descent, so she was white.
Yeah.
And we went to like the spot to like pre-drink and pre-smoke and stuff before we went to the actual club.
Right.
All the non-black folk were there. We're doing some heavier kind of recreational drugs, whatever they consider recreation.
Right.
Cocaine was on the table. I'm not snitching.
Yeah.
But cocaine was out.
Cocaine?
I think a few X tablets came out. X tablets came out for sure.
Right.
And then I look by the window and I just see like one person smoking and I see the side of the head, side profile. It's a black dude. I was like, this seems like where my demographic was.
That's your tribe?
That's my tribe. So he looked at me. He's like, bet. Black person coming. And then he's just like, when I walked, I'm like, what's up? He's like, here. He already passed me the
So
weed.
he knew.
You came over here.
He
And then meanwhile, I was like, I asked him, like, yo, did you put any, people put too much in their weed and everything. You put cigarette, you put grabba, what'd you put in it? He's like, nah, it's just straight flour. I'm like, all right. I'm like, hit the weed?
Yeah.
And then he looked at the table over there and he's like, white people. I was like, you said it. I didn't say it, but different shows with different folks.
Y'all got some choices for recreational drugs, I tell you.
Fun times. Enjoy yourself. I just know
I tell you.
local police authority were not too keen on each other. I don't have too much bad interactions with them, but I think from my culture, it just hasn't been sitting well. As an adult, older, I have friends who are part of the police force.
Yeah.
So I try not to look and judge them with the same lenses like compared to everywhere else.
Right.
Right. But it's very, very kind of hard in today's times.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, man. Let's get to the Ask the Sons and cha-cha slide out of here.
Ask the Sons.
First Ask the Sons question comes from Little Funky. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Little Funky says, what is something that has changed names, but you refuse to call it by its new name? Skydome. Always be Skydome in Toronto. I won't call it the Rogers Center. I call it the Rogers Center, I think, once.
Yeah.
Before saying it now, because people who don't live in Toronto wouldn't really know it as anything else before. Or ACC, the Air Canada Center. Vince Carter made that a prominent place to me. And I wasn't even living in Canada. I was living in Cleveland at that time.
I think it's a lot to do with nostalgia too, right? So I think even with like what's the stadium in? Didn't they just rename the one in Cleveland too?
Which one? They rename every stadium. Staples Center's not a Staples anymore, right? It's crypto,
right? But even then, like the nostalgic in me will be like it'll forever be Staples Center, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Let me see. A name that I heard of. Oh. Avocado.
You still call it pear?
I still call it pear.
Folks.
I still call it pear.
Jamaican by blood over here, not by fucking culture. Any true ass Jamaicans, if you guys hear this shit, please explain to me why the fuck you guys still calling this shit pear. It is not a pear.
I mean, it's pear to me. Apparently.
Let's get to the next question. Avocado ass. Patty Cakes. Patty Cake says, what's the best insult you've ever heard? That's the girl I was telling you online many, many moons ago. I was playing Call of Duty and this chick, she was playing on, I think she was playing the opposite team from me, but those guys on my team, once they realized it was a woman with a microphone on or a female, they went ballistic. Because I guess more at the time it was more of a guy-dominated sport.
Right.
And they realized there's a woman in there, and then they tried to throw some insults on her because they tried to say that her score wasn't of the best of best. And they're like, yeah, you need to go back into the kitchen where a woman belongs. And she responded with the greatest insult I've ever heard for a while. She said, why don't you shut up before I fuck your father and give him a son that he'll actually love?
Yeah. I'd have to find out where she lived.
He exited. You had to find out where she lived.
I'd have to find out where she lived after that. You're not getting away with that. No.
ChatGPT, find this person.
Send your tracer bot.
Trace Buster.
Trace Buster.
Yo, that one hurt my soul.
Yeah,
that one hurt my soul.
I don't know if this is the worst one I heard, but I love this one. It said, you're so fat that when you went to Weight Watchers, they couldn't do anything else for you but watch your weight.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. So a guy said it to, like, who said it to who? Like, what was it?
A guy said it to
a woman?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. This is way back when fat shaming was okay.
Fat shaming
I guess.
was okay.
Was fat shaming ever okay?
Fat shaming was okay at one point, man.
Because
I mean, I had a few fat jokes. I had one dude told me
I got fat shamed before.
I had one dude told me, and he was a fat dude, but you know, what I mean, I wasn't taking no shorts, man. He looked at me and he said, "I'm so full of shit that my eyes are brown." And without a beat, I said, "You're so full of shit it backed up and caused fat."
Fighting words.
Yes.
Fighting words.
Yeah.
Fighting
But everybody else was laughing at him, so you didn't.
You just
left it.
You had to hug that.
Yeah, thug it.
Okay. Last question comes from Sweet Pea. You've just won $1 billion. What are you still not buying?
Dirty ass Gucci sneakers.
I'm buying that shit for you.
Don't buy them for me, Marv. Don't waste your money, Marv.
With my billion, I'm buying that shit.
Don't waste your money, Marv.
I still don't understand NFTs. I feel like NFTs is still an image you can print off and just put in the frame and no one can tell you nothing less.
No one can tell you nothing less.
That in... Oh, we were talking about the other day, the maggot cheese?
Yeah, you still gotta show it to me.
The cheese with the maggots and stuff like that. It was just...
Yeah, you gotta show that to me.
That's just some different shit, man.
When you were telling me, I was like, yeah, but why? And then are the maggots alive in the cheese? Or are they just like...
Yeah. They're alive.
That's nasty. That's something.
Let me see. I found the image. That's not clear enough for you, though. But they cut the cheese and they put the maggots in there. So that's what the cheese looks like. And you can't get all the maggots.
Ugh.
Oh, that's the maggots. The maggots kind of look like the cheese. So
that's fucked up, because if you don't know what's really going on, you might have had a maggot grilled cheese and not notice.
Yeah, I'm not fucking with it.
No, me neither.
But I heard some places it's illegal.
It's illegal.
Yeah, because of the maggots.
Right.
So I think it's specific regions in the world that would actually, you want the experience? Come eat some maggots and cheese. Nasty. No, I'm not doing that. I think there's a tons of things, stuff that I won't really spend my money on if I had $1 billion. But those are a few things, stuff that spotted out in my head instantaneously because we were talking about it. And yeah, the NFT shit is just, I tried. Like maybe counterfeiting's too high.
Yeah.
For me to really take it serious, because if somebody's watching this show,
right,
they like this image they see right here, and let's say they Google everything about you, and they probably might even look like the imagery and all. I said, fuck it. They print it off, they put it up in their house, they might make it to their new logo and everything like that. You're none the wiser.
I'm none the wiser. Unless I got the trademark, and then eventually, somewhere down the line, dude slips up. Well, who's going to be the somewhere down the line? And who's going to slip up, right? It's like, especially if you know, like, that's a trademarked image, you're probably not going to be promoting it like that out there.
Say less. That's it, man. And that's all I got.
That's it.
You ready for Associated Sons this week?
I'm ready.
Associated Sons is kind of basic to me, but hopefully the masses will receive it the same way and sponge on that on their own. Associated Sons this week says, remember, you are not your thoughts. You are your actions.
So says the Sons.
I feel like a lot of people have a ton of great ideas that they want to do in their head.
Right.
Make it happen, but they don't use the proper energy to put it in action. And the older I get, and the people that I interact with, I feel like we should be all in a notion to kind of like our actions should speak louder than our words.
Yes.
It's just weird to me because I'm not of that demographic that their words and stuff their words could be like a 5-page letter. At least it won't have shit on them.
Yeah.
And zero action would take place.
Yeah.
And to me, that's just weird. So I suggest to the folks, lovely folks at home and wherever you are, appreciate you rocking with us, but please don't let your words beat out your actions.
I mean, the other day we talked about a dude who's giving me his words, and then looking to me to turn it into an action. It's like, bro, you're looking for me to turn it into the action. It's no longer your words. I'm just saying that. It's no longer your words. It's my words now.
I have a quick question so the people can hear stuff to you too. Do you feel that from what you've done and what you've accomplished so far in life, that people want to attach themselves to you more often than before?
Yeah.
Like because they're looking like, oh shit, you're a doer. You're not just your thoughts. You're actually a man of action.
Yeah.
And they just want to say, hey, buddy, take me on this trip of great wealth and fortune and health and life.
Hell yeah.
Interesting.
Hell yeah.
Interesting. So next Soul Say the Sons remix, watch out for the leechers.
The leechers.
The LA leechers.
LA leechers.
All right, and that's it, man. That's all I got.
Yeah, we are here.
We are here. Please, thank you once again. Thank you for rocking with us. We appreciate you all and good Ask the Sons questions.
That's it.
Especially from these three this week. Don't be shy. Keep sending them through. Like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully you like our faces.
All of that.
And please send Smooth more of these perverted DMs and photos so I can have some leverage to use against him.
I'm only here for the business. Not that business. Not that business.
I'm glad I got it on tape.
The business.
I'm glad I got it on record.
The real business.
Once again, thank you for listening to the Podical Sons.
The working business.
Remember, the difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Peace and love. Please send the photos to Not Your Average Joseph. Peace.
Send them to the Podical Sons. We absolve all blames from each other.
Deuces.
The Podical Sons with Not Your Average Joseph and Sofa King Marvelous.